You got in the baby's life in the first year, right?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
His girlfriend.
It was
his girlfriend. It was his girlfriend.
Joining us now from Los Angeles is Marilyn. You see, Marilyn is here to take ownership for two damaging lies she admits that she told her ex-boyfriend, Rob. When Marilyn was 8 months pregnant with her now 2-year-old son, Millicent, she claimed to Rob that she had suffered a miscarriage. After Rob discovered she actually gave birth, along came lie number 2. She informed Rob that he was not Millicent's father. Today, Marilyn is here to right her wrongs with a DNA test. So, here's what everybody is asking right now. Why did you lie to Rob not once but twice?
I was tired. We've had a lot of issues in the past, and I honestly was just trying to do better for my son. It was too much for me to handle, and being pregnant and working a full time. I was just over it. I couldn't do it anymore. So I just decided to tell him. It was bad, but it stopped. I never heard from him again.
I mean, if I was he and you told me that first,
I would be mad too.
That you miscarried, and second, that he wasn't the father, I don't think I would think I was the father.
Well, I've never cheated before, so there's no reason to think that he's not the father. So that's not a accurate excuse to be like, oh, I'm not going to be in his life because you said that we had an argument and I got mad and I said, oh, you're not the father. That's not an excuse to say, oh, I'm not going to be there for Millicent. He's 2 years now. We could have took a DNA test a long time ago.
What about you telling him that you miscarried and lost the baby?
It was a lot of issues, like I said. It was a lot of problems. My son had heart problems. I was preterm. It was a lot going on. I did not want to lose my son. I didn't want to go through that. I was so close. I was on bed rest. I didn't have the energy to keep up with the drama. So I'm wrong, but I did it. And that's why we're here now. We have to fix this and move forward.
How long were you and Rob together?
We've been on and off for years. So I've been knowing him since we were in middle school. So we've been on and off for a couple of years. But when we had our baby, we were together for a couple of months, like about 6 months to a year.
So initially, when you told Rob you were pregnant, was he okay with that?
That's funny that you asked, because his response to me telling him that I was pregnant, it was, I'm not the daddy. That was his first thing. So he came around it, but it's been from the beginning since I found out I was pregnant. So it's. But
you say he came around to accept the pregnancy.
Yes, he was around. He was around. He came around. He was together. We're going to doctor's appointments.
And what was his reaction when you told him you lost the baby?
I didn't hear from him no more, Maury. He disappeared. I didn't even get a reply back. When I told him I had a miscarriage, he didn't reply back. He left me on scene. I never heard from him again.
When you had Millicent, and by the way, a lot of people are going to say, you have a boy named Millicent. Isn't that a girl's name?
I do get that a lot. I do. Look at my baby. I do get that a lot. But I actually named him Millicent because it has a meaning to it.
I want you to be proud of that. Don't worry about people thinking that that's a girl's name, because guess what? Guess what? My father's name is Shirley, all right?
Oh.
So I've been around this all my life. And my father, Shirley Povich, was one of the greatest sports writers in the history of time, okay?
Wow.
So
then I'm not even worried about it, Maury.
Don't worry about it, okay? Be proud of it. I surely was.
I love my son today.
Okay. But after he was born, you didn't go on social media, you didn't do any of that stuff, because you had told someone that you had lost the baby.
Yes, so that's how it was, Maury. So not everyone, but only Robert thought that I lost the baby, but my family and everyone, I asked them to keep it down, because like not to put it on social media or anything, because I didn't want. I had just had a baby. I had to.
And this is why we
get my body healed. This is why we're here today.
Rob found out about Millicent because finally, after a couple of months, 2 or 3 months, you did post something on social media, right?
I did. After a month later, I posted a picture of my son. And literally, like not even a week later, he sent me a message. He sent me a message on Instagram, on Messenger, and told me that he was mad. He was very upset, which I understood. I got to
Try
talk
do
to
it right
him,
there
and
since day one. She the one.
I apologize. I apologize for what I did. That's not an excuse to just be like, oh, I'm not going to be there for him. You haven't seen him in a year.
Well, one of the reasons why he might not have seen him for a year is because you told him he wasn't the father.
Well, I don't think that was the reason, but.
Almost gave up like these other fathers out here.
And I don't understand why, because I've never told you cannot see your son. Maury, I've never been like, oh, you can't see your son. You're like, I've never done that before. I've never kept him from him. He can actually come to my house. My boyfriend gives him my son. No problems. Like, we don't have boyfriend problems, like girlfriend drama,
Are you
at least on my end.
Are you surprised? Rob told my people that he wanted to be the father.
I am surprised, Maury. I'm very surprised. I almost fell out of my chair when I heard that, because I've never thought that he would say that before. Like, I genuinely was surprised, because when he found out that I was pregnant, he didn't want the baby. My whole pregnancy, he didn't want the baby. But we're here now, and we have to move forward.
Okay. You think they look alike? You think Millicent and Rob look alike?
Maury, that's not even look at that. That's not even a question. Look at the eyebrows. Look at the nose. Look at the eyes. Like,
so
the big head.
She was telling me all this at first, so I had to take a little extra step, find out myself.
I understand. Has Rob been around Millicent?
No, he hasn't been around him in a year. He was around when my son was born. He was helping. He was taking him, and then the drama started.
She told me I wasn't
His girlfriend got pregnant. He stopped coming around. He didn't want to talk to his son no more. He didn't treat him the same. And he just left him in the dirt.
So obviously you would like Rob to be in Millicent's life, right?
Of course I would. That's his dad. I want my son to know his dad. I never thought about being a single mother, or even not having, my kid's dad in the picture.
Right.
Look, like, who wouldn't want to be his dad?
Were you upset when she told you she lost the baby?
No.
Nah, I wasn't really upset.
He didn't want the baby.
That's what I wanted in the beginning,
So what was your reaction when you go on, I don't know what social media page, and find out she did have the baby?
I went crazy because the girl I was with, she started, getting on my head, talking about it's a whole baby. I'm like, a whole baby? By who? She's like, by Marilyn. I'm like, Marilyn? I thought, it wasn't no baby. So I hit her up, like, so you had a baby? She said, yeah. I'm like, let me see a picture. She sent me a picture.
I took him to your house. Not a picture. I took him to your house with your mother. And you held him, and your mother was telling you that he was just like you. You can't even deny him.
So,
that.
So you went and saw the baby. You got in the baby's life in the first year, right?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
His girlfriend.
It was
his girlfriend. It was his girlfriend.
Nah, it was just back and forth stuff. Then she started getting mad or jealous and stuff.
I never got mad or jealous.
She started saying I wasn't the father.
I left you.
She started saying I wasn't the father and stuff. She started putting little pictures on Instagram with her little boyfriend and stuff, with Millicent and stuff, little light-skinned dude.
He stepped up to the plate. He's been taking
gave me even more doubt.
Gone.
But I been stepped up to the plate. And you, pushed me out the plate, and moved this other dude in because I don't know what the reason and stuff. I don't know. I guess you were trying to get some type of payback here or something.
Rob, let me ask you this. Do you want to be Millicent's father?
Yeah, I don't want to see no kid grow up without no father.
Maury, the thing is...
Yeah? What?
Sorry, Maury. The thing is, he's just very jealous. Like, I don't know if it's a jealousy thing or what.
Jealous of what?
That's what I want to find out, Maury.
She want me to be jealous.
I want to find out.
She want me to be jealous, but I ain't.
What happened last Christmas, Rob?
Last Christmas, she sent him. I had him a few days before Christmas, but he was sick. So, he
was sick.
I already know.
He was good when you
got
him, and he was sick. He got sick at your house.
See, that's right
and
there.
And you called me, and you told me that he was sick.
He was sick with a cold when he came to my house. So I called her like, he got to come back home because I don't want nobody else in the household catching the cold.
Well, why should I have to deal with that? It's our son. It was your week.
It's time to find out. And the first piece of good news is the fact that if you are the father, Rob, you're all in the same town. So that's good. Here we go. In the case of 2-year-old Millicent, Rob, you are the father.
Woo! I told you. See, I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you.
Okay.
I wish.
Rob,
now you can never in your life hold it over my head.
Right.
I'm sorry, Maury. It's just, I'm so happy. I feel so relieved. I'm happy.
Girl, you know what you was doing.
Okay.
During that time.
Fine.
You're the daddy.
Doesn't matter. You're the father, Rob. You want to be in his life, you'll get into his life. Okay? You are not the father.